We live in an age of volume. Not just literal noise, but a cultural, psychological, and emotional assault of constant input. Screens flash, voices shout, algorithms push, and in this avalanche of sound and distraction, one figure has quietly vanished from public view: the loner. Not the misfit caricature, not the socially awkward outcast, but the strategic recluse, the silent observer, the master of inner worlds. This essay is a descent into a hidden truth. Modern society systematically rejects the quiet intelligence of loners, not because it's irrelevant, but because it's threatening. And if you've ever felt your deepest insights were unwelcome in conversations, if your silence made people uncomfortable, if your refusal to conform made you feel like an alien in your own civilization, this is for you. Let's begin where all revolutions begin: in silence. Today's world equates noise with value. The louder you are, the more seen you become. The more you post, the more people assume you're relevant. Visibility has replaced substance. Social media has turned identity into a performance, and the currency of influence is no longer truth. It's attention. In this climate, the quiet one is dangerous. He does not seek to be seen. He observes. He does not fight for attention. He calculates. He does not announce his value. He embodies it. And that is precisely why the system rejects him. From the earliest days of school, children are rewarded not for contemplation, but for participation. The child who speaks often in class is praised. The child who reflects in silence is labeled withdrawn. This continues into adulthood. Job interviews reward confidence over competence. Meetings reward dominance over insight. Politics rewards theatrics over wisdom. In every sector of society, we're taught to value the extroverted surface over the introspective core. But the loner is immune to this conditioning. He is not afraid of silence. In fact, he dwells in it. He uses solitude not as an escape from life, but as a laboratory of thought. And therein lies his subversive power. While the world runs on distractions, he refines clarity. One of the biggest misconceptions about loners is that they hate people. False. They hate pretending. They despise the shallow rituals of small talk, the mandatory smiles, the performative empathy. They loathe the culture of hollow networking, where people collect contacts like trophies and call it connection. The loner seeks depth, not breadth. He prefers one honest conversation over 1,000 polite ones. He'd rather sit with a good book than endure the background noise of a crowded party. He doesn't fear intimacy. He just refuses to dilute it. This refusal makes him an alien in a world addicted to artificial closeness. Modern society fears what it cannot control. The loner, by detaching from status games, hierarchies, and social climbing, becomes an anomaly. And the system cannot tolerate anomalies. It needs predictability, compliance. It needs everyone to perform the same rituals, consume the same media, chase the same goals. So the loner is pathologized, labeled as depressed, antisocial, even narcissistic. Not because he's broken, but because he's immune. Immune to groupthink, immune to manipulation, immune to trends. And this immunity is more dangerous to the system than any protest. Because it is silent resistance. Our world monetizes everything: time, attention, emotion, identity. But the loner's intelligence defies commodification. You can't sell it, you can't brand it, you can't put it in a spreadsheet or turn it into a KPI. It's an intelligence forged in solitude. It doesn't seek approval. It doesn't need applause. It asks questions with no easy answers and spots patterns others are too distracted to see. It's the intelligence of Leonardo da Vinci, who sketched inventions no one understood for centuries. Of Emily Dickinson, who wrote thousands of poems and shared almost none. Of Nikola Tesla, who perceived frequencies the rest of humanity couldn't tune into. This intelligence isn't performative. It's contemplative. Not loud, precise, not interested in fame, but in truth. And that's why the world discards it. Because in an attention economy, deep intelligence is a bad product. It takes too long. It's too complex. It doesn't entertain. It confronts. It reveals. It threatens to wake people up. And the last thing a sleeping society wants is someone who refuses to dream its dreams. The loner isn't just rejected. He's feared. Because in his silence, people see themselves. In his refusal to conform, they see their own compromises. In his independence, they confront their own dependence. He becomes a mirror, and most people hate mirrors that show too much. So they mock him, call him weird. They parrot slogans like, "People need people," and "No man is an island." Not because they are true, but because they're comforting. Because the alternative, that someone can be whole without the crowd, is terrifying. The loner exposes the artificiality of collective meaning. He walks away from the group and still finds purpose. He says no to the herd and doesn't collapse. That's not weakness. It's a different kind of strength. One the system can't digest. Let's be clear. Loneliness and solitude are not the same. Loneliness is a wound. Solitude is a weapon. Loneliness is needing others and not having them. Solitude is no longer needing what they can't offer. One is suffering, the other sovereignty. The loner has mastered solitude, not as retreat, as command. He doesn't withdraw from the world, he rises above it. From this vantage point, he sees more, thinks clearer, and acts with precision. Solitude isn't emptiness. It's a creative space, where philosophers birth systems of thought, where writers give language to the ineffable, where visionaries see 10 moves ahead. This is the ground zero of genius. Not the crowd, but the cave. And the world has always feared the man in the cave, because when he emerges, he brings fire. In an age where algorithms manipulate perception, where news is entertainment, where outrage is monetized and attention hijacked, the loner is among the few who see the game for what it is. He spots the agendas behind headlines, the emotional hooks in stories, the manufactured tribalism. He sees how division is profitable, how conformity is sold as morality, and he walks away. That's not apathy, it's clarity. And in that clarity lies hope. Because the loner doesn't just critique the system, he imagines alternatives. He builds new models in silence. He codes futures others can't yet fathom. He is the seed of a new world, buried in the soil of this one. But for that seed to grow, he must survive rejection, endure being misunderstood, resist the lure of conformity, stay silent when others scream, stay grounded when they panic, stay awake while they dream. Only then can his truth emerge, untouched, unfiltered, unstoppable. If you've always felt like an outsider, not because you were less, but because you were more aware, more sensitive, more awake, this is for you. You are not broken. You are not weird. You are not wrong. You are rare. You walk a path most can't even see. Yes, it's hard, lonely, often thankless, but it's also sacred. Because in your silence, you carry truths this world desperately needs. Don't silence yourself for their comfort. Don't shrink so they can feel big. Don't pretend to be shallow so they can feel deep. Your solitude isn't exile, it's elevation. And one day, when the noise collapses under its own weight, they will come looking for those who stayed silent. They will come looking for you. If this resonated, don't let it vanish into the void. Leave a comment below, even a single word. Your silence may be your strength, but here, among like minds, your voice is welcome. Share this with someone who walks alone, someone misunderstood, yet carrying a storm of truth inside. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. This space is for those who think differently, feel deeply, and see what others ignore. Here, loners are not forgotten, they are finally understood.